This is part 4, chapter 10, The Unraveling. For so long, I wore a mask, bending and shaping myself to fit what everyone expected. I smiled, dated men, and silenced the part of me that whispered a different truth, because being myself felt like stepping into a storm I wasn't ready to face alone. But the moment I told my sister everything, something shifted. She already knew, or maybe she had known all along in that quiet way only family can know. But hearing the words from me made it real. I braced myself for confusion or disappointment, but what I found was something else entirely: quiet, unwavering support. Her eyes held no judgment, no fear, just love. In that simple acceptance, I found a strength I hadn't realized I had. It was like a secret reservoir of courage opened inside me, one I could draw from when the world outside still felt certain and scary. Knowing she stood beside me made the path feel less lonely, the weight a little lighter. Her support didn't erase the years of exhaustion or the fear of being misunderstood, but it gave me a foothold, a safe place to begin unraveling the years of pretending and hiding. With her by my side, I started to breathe a little freer. I started to say the words out loud, first in whispers, then with growing confidence. I'm gay. And for the first time, I believed that maybe, just maybe, I could be myself, fully and without apology. The mask cracked, then fell away, piece by piece. I didn't suddenly have all the answers, but I had something better. A sister's love that reminded me I wasn't alone. That love became the light, guiding me back to myself. Chapter 11, Embracing the Unknown. This was the moment I stopped asking for permission, from others, from the world, even from myself, to be who I truly was. The road here wasn't smooth. My voice trembled, my legs shook, but beneath that shaky surface, something fierce was growing. I realized that no matter how loud the whispers of doubt or judgment were, they couldn't reach the core of me anymore. I was done bending, shrinking, or hiding parts of myself to make others comfortable. Their beliefs, their fears, their rejection, none of it could sway the truth I was finally learning to own. It wasn't a sudden burst of confidence, but a slow, gritty acceptance, like digging through rubble to find seed, fragile and small, but alive. I nurtured it with every unsteady breath, every quiet affirmation whispered to myself when the world felt cold and heavy. I began to explore who I was on the outside as much as on the inside. I started experimenting with styles that felt like me, shedding skirts, dresses, and heels that never quite fit my spirit, despite how often I had worn them. Each trip to the salon, I chopped more and more off my hair, carving away the parts that didn't belong until it was exactly where I wanted it, a reflection of the person I was becoming. Fitness became another way to reclaim myself. I sought out workouts that would build strength and muscle, molding my body into something that felt true and powerful. With every lift, every drop of sweat, I felt closer to the masculine presenting lesbian I had always been inside. This was the first time I embraced my truth in full, not just when the skies were clear, but even in the storm. And that made all the difference. Chapter 12, Claiming My Space. Claiming my space in the world was one of the most pivotal moments of my life. It wasn't just about being seen by others. It was the first time I told myself, with trembling lips and a pounding heart, that I was worthy of more than I had ever allowed myself to have, and for the first time, I truly believed it. That belief didn't come wrapped in neat, tidy bows. It came raw and ragged, tangled in fear, wrapped in doubt, just in the messy chaos of real life. I stumbled, I fell, I questioned every step, every breath, but despite shaking, despite uncertainty, I kept moving. Each step was mine, no one else's. The path wasn't smooth. It was littered with broken expectations, old scars, and the weight of 1,000 what-ifs, but it was real, it was raw, and it was exactly where I needed to be. With every choice to say no to what didn't serve me, every moment I spoke up despite the quiver in my voice, every small act of self-love and respect, I chipped away at the walls that had hidden the girl I was all along. The girl I had buried beneath layers of costumes, masks, and fear, waiting, patient, but persistent. This is not a story of perfection. It's a story of grit, of rising again when the weight of the world tried to pin me down, or learning that progress doesn't have to be clean or linear, just real and relentless. If you're reading this, know this. Your next step doesn't have to be big or certain. It just has to be yours. Whatever your truth looks like, however shaky your legs are, or trembling your voice, that step is the beginning, and that beginning is everything. Chapter 13, Building My Sanctuary. After claiming my space, I realized I needed more than just presence. I needed a sanctuary, not just a place to live, but a place to be, where I could finally let my guard down and feel safe enough to breathe without holding back. The sanctuary wasn't always a grand space or a perfect picture. Sometimes it was just a quiet corner in my room where I wrapped myself in a warm blanket and let the tears come without apology. Other times it was in the gentle words from my sister, who truly saw me and accepted me, flaws and all. I had to learn to be gentle with myself, especially on days when the world felt cold and my own reflection seemed foreign. I whispered kind things to myself in the mirror, even when my voice cracked. I gave myself permission to rest, to stumble, to be messy and real. Letting go of people who couldn't hold my truth was one of the deepest heartbreaks, but one of the most freeing acts of love I ever gave myself. It taught me that my worth wasn't tied to others' approval, and that sometimes protecting your heart means saying goodbye. In the stillness of these moments, wrapped in softness and silence, I began to feel rooted. My sanctuary grew slowly, built from tiny acts of courage and self-care, a morning ritual of breath, a walk that cleared the noise, a journal filled with my rawest thoughts. This sanctuary isn't perfect and ever-changing, just like me. But it's mine. It's home. Chapter 14. I'm going to try to squeeze the last chapter in, coming home to myself. This journey hasn't been easy. There were times I wanted to give up, moments when I barely recognized myself in the mirror. I was scared, broken, and unsure if I'd ever feel whole again. But here I am, still standing, still fighting, finally coming home to myself. Coming home means accepting every part of me, the good, the bad, the messy, and the beautiful. It means learning to love the scars I once tried to hide and owning the parts I'm finally proud of. It means saying out loud, even when my voice shakes, I am enough. It's not a destination, but a daily choice. A choice to keep showing up even when the weight of the world feels heavy, to keep peeling back the layers, facing the shadows, and embracing the light within me. It's about forgiving myself for the times I stumbled and celebrating every small victory along the way. This isn't the end. It's just the beginning of a lifetime of choosing me, choosing honesty, vulnerability, and growth, even when it's hard. I know there'll be tough days ahead, days when doubt creeps in, but I'm no longer afraid because I carry the strength of every raw, painful, beautiful step that brought me here. If you're reading this, know this. Your story matters too. You are worthy of love, truth, and freedom. You're not alone, and no matter how lost or broken you may feel right now, you can find your way home to yourself, one raw, real step at a time. And for the ones who are still afraid, I've walked the rough road, stumbled through the dark, and carried the weight of silence so you don't have to walk it alone. Let my footsteps and my scars be a quiet reminder that even in your pain, even in your doubt, you are still worthy of finding your way back home to yourself. I hope whoever God told me to share this message to, it reaches. I'm sick. Literally. Hold on, I need water. I have to pause this. Okay. I am sick. I wanted to wait to record this. I was instructed I needed to post it this month because, of course, it's Pride Month. There is someone out here who is feeling these feelings that I've once felt, who is currently still hiding, who is currently still lying to themselves, to others, and I wanted to wait to read this when I was better because I wanted it to sound a certain way, but I know that doesn't matter. The message is still a message, and whoever it's intended to reach, you'll get. But I hope that you hear this soon. I love you. This is always a safe place. Please feel free to share your stories. I would love to hear and read them all. I love you guys. Thanks for being vulnerable with me.